Each morning is an invitation to return to yourself, to slow down, breathe deeply, and remember that your body was never meant to rush. It was meant to flow with life, like water finding its way home. When you roll out your yoga mat at sunrise, you're not just stretching your body, you're unfolding your soul, awakening every corner of your being to the rhythm of peace and possibility. In just 5 minutes of mindful movement, you can shift your entire day from chaos to calm, from tension to trust, from fatigue to freedom. Yoga in the morning is more than a habit. It's a sacred conversation between your breath and your body, a reminder that the day belongs to you before the world begins to ask for your attention. Every inhale fills you with potential. Every exhale releases what you no longer need. In this dance of breathing, you rediscover balance, patience, and presence. The stillness you create in a 5-minute yoga flow is like pressing reset on your mind. It clears the fog, centers your focus, and reconnects you to what truly matters. The beauty of yoga isn't in perfect poses, but in perfect awareness. The moment you realize your breath, your thoughts, and your energy all move as one. Morning yoga is a gentle declaration. Today, I choose peace over pressure, clarity over chaos, and connection over distraction. A 5-minute yoga session can feel like an entire lifetime of release, a sacred pause between yesterday's worries and today's possibilities. Yoga teaches you that strength doesn't always look like power. It often feels like softness, surrender, and the courage to slow down. Before you open your phone or rush into your schedule, take 5 minutes to open your heart. You'll find more energy in those quiet breaths than in an entire cup of coffee. The most powerful transformation begins not in grand efforts, but in small, consistent rituals that whisper, "You are worthy of care." Each morning stretch is a message to your future self, one that says, "I am grounded, I am alive, I am ready." Yoga is the art of listening to your breath, your body, and the still, wise voice within that already knows what you need most. The world moves fast, but yoga teaches you to move with grace, to find stillness in motion and motion in stillness. A mindful morning doesn't begin with noise, it begins with silence, with the sound of your breath reminding you that peace is not something you find, it's something you return to. Yoga isn't about touching your toes, it's about learning to touch your soul, to breathe through discomfort, and to honor your journey exactly as it is. When you wake up and flow, you tell your body, "I love you enough to listen." Every sunrise gives you another chance to align, not just your spine, but your purpose, your gratitude, your peace. A 5-minute yoga in the morning is like planting a seed of stillness that blooms throughout your entire day. Yoga doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for presence, for patience, for permission to simply be. When you greet the morning with mindful movement, you invite light to enter not just your room, but your spirit. The rhythm of yoga mirrors the rhythm of life. Inhale courage, exhale doubt, move with purpose, and rest with intention. True wellness begins when you realize your body is not an obstacle, it's your greatest ally in experiencing peace. With every pose, every stretch, every breath, you create harmony between your body's whispers and your mind's silence. Yoga in the morning teaches you that you don't need to rush toward peace. It's already within you, waiting for you to slow down and listen. When your day begins with gratitude and grounding, everything else falls naturally into balance. Your mat becomes a sacred space where chaos ends and clarity begins, where every movement becomes a prayer of gratitude. Each breath during yoga is a bridge from who you were yesterday to who you are becoming today. Yoga reminds you that balance isn't something you achieve, it's something you practice, one breath at a time. 5 mindful minutes are enough to awaken your energy, release your tension, and set your intention. When your body flows in rhythm with your breath, your mind follows into stillness. The discipline of morning yoga isn't about control, it's about compassion, about learning to move with kindness toward yourself. Yoga turns mornings into moments of magic, where silence becomes strength and simplicity becomes power. In the first light of dawn, yoga reminds you that you are both grounded and growing, both strong and soft. The true power of yoga lies not in the stretch, but in the stillness between breaths, where clarity lives. With every pose, you sculpt not your body, but your awareness, shaping a calmer, stronger version of yourself. Each morning practice is an act of self-respect, a promise to show up for your peace before anything else. The energy you create in your morning flow becomes the energy that carries you through the day. Yoga whispers, you are enough, not because you've done everything right, but because you are present. When you take just 5 minutes to move, breathe, and center yourself, you remind your body that it was never meant to survive the day, it was meant to feel it fully in every graceful moment. Yoga at sunrise is a gentle rebellion against the noise of the world. It's your way of saying, I will start from peace, not pressure. With every inhale, you awaken the spark within. With every exhale, you let go of the weight that held you down yesterday. Each pose is not about perfection, but about perception, about seeing how your inner calm can expand into everything you touch today. 5 minutes on the mat is a lifetime in stillness. It's where your mind softens, your heart listens, and your spirit remembers its rhythm.
In the stillness of a morning stretch, the mind unclutters, the breath deepens, and the soul begins to glow softly again. When your body moves gently, your thoughts begin to settle, your heart begins to open, and your day begins to align. Yoga is not about becoming flexible. It's about becoming free from doubt, from tension, from yesterday. In the first 5 minutes of your day, you can rewrite the entire tone of your life by simply breathing with purpose. The peace you create in your morning flow ripples into every moment that follows, like sunlight spreading through glass. Each inhale fills you with light. Each exhale frees you from the shadows you no longer need to carry. The simplicity of morning yoga is its greatest strength. It reminds you that balance doesn't come from doing more, but from being more. The power of yoga lies not in movement alone, but in the quiet conversation between the body that moves and the mind that observes. In those 5 quiet minutes, you are both the storm and the calm, the breath and the pause, the student and the master. When you move your body with intention, the universe seems to move with you, aligning opportunities and peace in your path. A single morning stretch can shift your entire perspective, reminding you that your body is the most honest storyteller you have. Yoga at dawn feels like whispering to your soul, "Wake up, love, the world is waiting for your light." Every pose is a conversation with the divine part of you, reminding you that stillness is not absence, it is awareness. 5 minutes is all it takes to awaken gratitude, balance, and strength within your body's quiet rhythm. When you pause to breathe before the day begins, you give yourself permission to exist before you perform. The soft light of morning is a mirror. It reflects not what you see, but how you feel about what you see. Yoga reminds us that healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers in the silence of an early morning stretch. The breath you take at sunrise is the first promise of renewal, the proof that even in stillness you are alive and expanding. In the space between breath and motion, yoga teaches the oldest lesson of all, that peace isn't something you find, it's something you choose. A mindful morning is not a luxury, it's a necessity for the soul that craves balance in a world that glorifies busyness. Yoga transforms mornings from moments of rush into moments of reverence, where even time seems to slow down and listen. As the light spills across your mat, you are reminded that everything beautiful begins slowly, with breath, with stillness, with presence. The 5 minutes you spend connecting to your breath are the foundation for every peaceful decision you'll make today. Yoga is not about how deep you bend. It's about how deeply you listen to your body's quiet wisdom. In the serenity of dawn, your breath becomes your anchor, your body your compass, and your intention your North Star. The simplest routine can hold the greatest power when performed with love, presence, and intention. The best part of yoga isn't finishing the practice. It's realizing you've just created peace out of thin air. Your morning flow is a reminder that wellness is not about fixing yourself. It's about meeting yourself with kindness. A 5-minute yoga session can quiet 100 restless thoughts, replacing them with one beautiful truth: I am here. Yoga in the morning teaches you that presence is a practice, not a place, and peace is always one breath away. As you move through poses, your body becomes poetry, and your breath becomes the rhythm that writes it. The practice of yoga is a bridge between effort and ease, between doing and being, between wanting and accepting. Each morning on the mat is a renewal of your promise to live gently, love deeply, and move consciously. Yoga reminds you that you don't need to escape your body to find peace. You need to come home to it. The first light of morning is an invitation to soften, to stretch, and to start again with grace. 5 minutes of yoga can undo hours of tension. It's proof that healing doesn't require time, only attention. The stillness after your final pose is not the end. It's the beginning of your day's calm rhythm. Yoga teaches you to embrace simplicity, the kind of peace that blooms in quiet hearts and steady breath. In the quiet before the world wakes, yoga gives you a sacred moment to meet yourself in honesty and love. The more you honor your body in the morning, the more your mind will honor your peace throughout the day. Every stretch is an act of gratitude, an acknowledgement of all your body has carried and all it will continue to do for you. Yoga turns mornings into moments of magic, reminding you that serenity is not something you chase, it's something you create. The breath you hold with awareness becomes a bridge between chaos and calm, grounding you in the now. Every movement is a meditation, every breath a reminder that you were never meant to live hurried, you were meant to live whole. The most profound transformations happen not in the noise of effort, but in the softness of awareness. When you choose to begin your day with yoga, you are choosing to lead with intention instead of reaction. The quiet discipline of 5 minutes each morning becomes the foundation for a peaceful, powerful life. Your yoga mat becomes a sanctuary where the world cannot intrude and where you remember who you really are. Each morning, your breath writes a love letter to your body that says, "Thank you for carrying me into this new day." And as you finish your practice, sitting in stillness, you realize the truth yoga has whispered all along. You were never separate from peace. You were only one breath away.